Today, we're going to talk about magazine care. What's going on, guys? Today's video is aimed towards new shooters. Now, as a new shooter, there's a lot to take in. I get that. When it comes to gun care and all that, one little aspect is often overlooked, and that is magazine care and the importance of it. Because of the basic construction of a magazine, it's really easy for them to collect dirt. If you're on the range, you drop your magazine, those little dust particles, all that gets inside your magazine. Now when it comes to your EDC piece, your pocket or your holster, that's where a lot of your lint comes from, and it really finds its way inside that magazine, and it can cause some jams and failures. If you're going to get into competition shooting, this can mean a match. If you're talking about your everyday carry, this can mean your life. Alright, let's jump into it. Oil and guns are a good thing. The thing you don't want to do is oil your magazine. That can cause some problems. Now, like I'd said, magazine care is often overlooked by new shooters. It's not something you want to do all the time, but it is necessary. Now, before I go singling out new shooters, there are a lot of old shooters that don't take care of their magazine properly. But that's a video for a different time. To start out with, you're only going to need a few things to clean your magazine. A cleaning cloth, and for me, a good cheap toothbrush. And also, some kind of rod you can put inside the body of your magazine. Now, magazines are all pretty much the same construction with a few exceptions. And they come apart pretty much the same way with a few exceptions. What you're going to do is you see this button on the bottom of your base plate. You're going to compress that. When you do, that's going to allow you to slide this floor plate forward. But you got to watch as you take it off, because that is under some spring tension. A lot of spring comes out of there. Now luckily this piece didn't go flying, but it could have very easily. You have your base plate, some sort of locking plate, you have your magazine spring, and your follower. Your follower is designed and engineered to feed your specific gun, a specific ammo. And of course, you have your magazine body. Now this magazine isn't too dirty, but it'll do for this demonstration. One of the big things that happens with magazines, like I said, is they collect a lot of dust, but especially your everyday carry magazine. You're going to get lint and all sorts of things you didn't know you can get inside of a magazine. So that can cause jams and problems down the road. Basically, you're just going to take your brush, whether it's a magazine brush or you go the cheap way like I do, and you're just going to brush it out and get all that loose stuff and break it free. And then you can take your cleaning rag and use that to really get in there and get anything out. And it's that simple. There's not a lot to magazine care. Now, of course, you're outside, you may get some carbon buildup and some stuff left over from the gunpowder, and it's okay to use some solvent to clean that out if necessary. But you're not really going to get that unless you see a lot of heavy use. But one of the key things, like I said, is to clean all that stuff out of there, because you don't want lubricants or liquids down inside your magazine. Now, to put it together, you're going to make sure your follower is pointing forward in the same direction as your magazine. Then I'm going to take this locking plate and I'm going to put everything back together. Then I'm going to take these rails, they're on the sides of the magazine here, and line them up with the channels on the base plate. Slide it into place and it should lock. Then you're going to test your follower to make sure everything's working great. I know that seems pretty simple, but that is the basics of magazine care. Now, one thing I want to point out that I didn't cover, when you take this magazine apart, you're going to inspect it as well. You're going to look for dents, you're going to look for any deformation around these locking grooves where your magazine release goes. And you're going to look for deformations around your feeding lips. because those are where your main problems can come from when it comes to feeding and keeping your magazine in your gun. As a new shooter, I hope this video helped you out a little bit. We didn't go over a whole lot of detail, but we did cover the basics. Now today's video has been brought to you by the Tactical AFT from Second Amendment Industries, which is mine and my wife's company. You can find a link to this shirt down below. Not only does it help the channel out, but you can get a decent shirt for an awesome price. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and be sure to check out all the links below, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe and keep shooting America.
Full beard manly.